up, all my Gormaganders? It's episode 6 of season 2 of Discovery, and this is the Federation conversation where we talk about Discovery, and we really we boil it down to brass tacks. We do the thing. And hi, Scotty.
You're listening to low bitrate David, and we don't know why. It's just coming through. It sounds as though he has fairy floss in his fucking face. I don't know what's going on. But we're just going to live with it.
That's not actually me. It's just the internet. But
not his fault. Just want you to know. David, episode 21 of what we're doing. Episode 6 of Discovery for the
6 of season 2.
Yeah, cool.
And what a doozy.
How do you feel about it? Do you like it? I mean,
I've been served a lot of doozies in the past, and of all the doozies I've been served during my days on Earth, this is one of them. I don't know. I'm saying nothing at the moment.
Isn't a doozy what happens to a woman when she's in a nightclub and somebody puts something in her drink and then?
No, that's rape.
Oh, cool. David's coming out of the gate swinging.
No, you're the one who said it. This is the Sounds of Thunder.
Okay.
And this episode was okay.
It was alright. I mean, it wasn't anything unexpected. I think what I have to do is stop watching the next week on Discovery segments because...
You definitely do.
They don't make them too informative. They don't give you that much to work with, but we know Discovery well enough, and, we're modestly imaginative people. We can figure it out by what they give.
I kind of wish you'd stop telling me about it as well, because...
Oh, don't worry. I don't remember what the segment was this week, so...
Okay, good.
Except we see Spock in it, so...
Well, that's a spoiler again. Thank you.
Sorry.
Well, that's like exactly what I just told you not to do. Yeah, so... Saru wants to go... the Red Angel goes to Saru's planet and says, hey, come here and do the thing. And then so they go there and they help out. And they find out that... well, they don't find out anything, actually. They just... So I've got a really bad headache.
Oh, you didn't tell me that.
What?
You didn't tell me that. We talked about...
I was about to say it doesn't stop my ability from podcasting, but apparently it does.
We talked about everything else before the show. We talked about Shaggy. We talked about League of Legends.
I didn't talk about Shaggy. You talked about Shaggy.
Okay, alright. So I just wanted to hear that song. I'd forgotten about it.
There's a lot of good songs that you've forgotten about. Another good one is Butterfly by the people who did that song. Anyway, so they go to Saru's planet and they free his entire race from genetic enslavery. And one thing I have to say about this is that I love Doug Jones, but he's not a very good angry actor or a fierce. He doesn't because he's meant to be coming across as this fearless new Saru with a new outlook on life because he doesn't have his little gibbly gobblies on his face, on his head anymore, and there's nothing behind his shouting or anything. It's just
I know what you mean. The for me, the pinnacle of his angry Saru was when he bursts into the transporter room, and he basically threatens the transporter chief. Get out! Get out! Get out! He says he sounds very funny, and also the transporter chief looks like an Indian wearing a beetle wig. It's really a very funny moment, and I don't think. The thing is, I was watching this Discovery and laughing the whole time, but I don't think it was meant to be overtly funny, not deliberate comedy.
You mean that guy that walked backwards all the way out of the room, basically? Was looking, whoa.
I'm moping out of this one.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know, this episode's fine. They teased okay, I think last week I predicted that the Baul were just the Kelpians after they go through the transformation. Obviously that's wrong.
Yeah. They could have very easily gone
that way. I did think that for half the episode because they kept saying, oh, and we can't see them. Oh, and there's no video, it's just audio. Nobody's ever seen them. And it's
that's it.
And then they didn't do it. And I was like, why were they saying that the entire time?
It's a lot of lead up for them.
Why were they teasing it like that? It was just tar monsters.
Yeah, it was a huge lead up for them to just basically look like the things that ate Tasha Yar.
Yeah, I don't get the point of that lead up. Because and after this episode, the whole thing is pretty much resolved. So I don't know what the.
Is it though? Really... I mean, I think the Baul, is that their name? They're not going to be happy that they had their sweet gig like ended.
You know, I think
if I was them, to go from a life of basically pushing Kelpians around and playing like the economic mode of Stronghold with them, using them just for fun, and then executing them once in a while when I get bored, and to suddenly lose that, I wouldn't be a happy camper.
Yeah, one thing that annoyed me about this episode was the whole plan of Starfleet and Saru.
Yeah.
Was that they would go down there. Well, like once they figured out that that frequency of the signal would activate all the genetics. And whatever.
The brown note.
The galactic brown note. Their plan was to do that so that everyone became evolved. They kept saying evolved as well, which is just annoying. But anyway.
Oh yeah.
So they evolved. And then their plan was to just keep living the way they were living with the Baal there, with all their technology for the next few generations, and like the Baal will just have to deal with it. And it's like they've got this whole system set up to like slaughter your race. How, like, Discovery was just going to leave, and then just that was just going to be it. It was going to be like, well, they're just going to have to deal with us not being afraid of them anymore. It's like, you can't do anything. You have no technology. They were just going to eat them all.
Edibles.
As soon as Discovery jetted off, they were just going to start eating them again, because it doesn't...
Yeah, who's going to stop them?
They have all the technology set up just to farm them like cows. It's like if cows suddenly grew thumbs. It's like they're not going to... Stores are going to put them through the meat grinder like usual, you know. It's...
Yeah, one way or the other, they're going in. We're getting our burgers.
And then it only kind of resolves itself once the Baal try and kill them all while Discovery's still there. It's like, if that wasn't going to happen, like it's like they wrote that episode with that in mind, because they knew that that was going to happen later. So whatever happened beforehand was fine. It felt like a big plot hole.
Yeah, in the last 5 minutes, I've just suddenly liked the episode a lot less, because I mean, on a superficial level, it's okay, but just now thinking about how unsatisfying the outcome was, and also just their behavior getting into it, like Pike's all, well, General Order 1, we're going to watch our step, not tell them too much. By the way, I'm sending Michael Burnham to fucking deal with the alien. Like, she didn't even dress up as a Kelpian.
Well,
and then Saru only gets to go along.
Right afterwards, Michael Burnham did say, actually, they know about warp travel, so it's pretty much fine.
Yeah. And then Saru only gets to go to his homeworld as a pity pick because Burnham speaks up for him.
I wanted to see him like just fucking kick Pike right in the chest.
My people have been we've been nervous people our whole lives. I'm not afraid of anything anymore. Does that giraffe kick?
Yeah, giraffe kick.
Yeah, that's the one.
Giraffe.
Never get behind a giraffe. I just have a random note, but I want to say this before I forget it. The last 2 or 3 episodes, I've been looking at Stamets whenever he pulls his, let's call it happy gay face, where he's smiling and he's quite happy. You know the Stamets face. It's a good one. I've been looking at that thinking, God, he would make a really great live-action Woody from Toy Story. And I don't know, maybe I need to do a Photoshop to back this up for you to see what's in my head right now. But I really think he just looks like, he looks more like Woody than Tom Hanks does. He just has that look.
Doesn't sound like Woody though.
Woody's Roundup. Well, you know, anyway, it's just a thought. It's something we could do with Stamets when this show inevitably ends. I'm
sure he'll have a career past this.
That whole angry Saru thing, you're right, it doesn't work. I laughed when he grew spines and shot them at the drone.
Yeah, and that did like nothing. Like,
and he was just crunching drones with his bare hands. The last thing this drone saw was Saru's angry face. It just, I don't know, it was funny.
Yeah, he was standing there. He was standing completely still. This drone goes in front of him, and he goes crunch. And it's just, it was all stunted and kind of not very good.
On a previous episode, one of our subscribers did say that Saru looked funny with his shirt off, and it made me think, isn't it weird how he's so much skinnier when he's in the uniform, but then in the sickbay scenes where he had his shirt off, he was like muscular?
Yeah, I mean,
They obviously didn't, when they were doing his character design, they didn't think, we made this guy really fucking thin. How's that going to fit?
yeah. How is Doug Jones' body going to fit with the prosthetics on top of Doug Jones' body? The prosthetics are thicker than his actual uniform when he's under the. Yeah, I mean, yeah, everyone looks buffer when they've got the shirt off.
Yeah. I did think they should have been playing Streets of Philadelphia during all of Culber's scenes because they were very emotional when he's in the sick bay. Am I really me? Am I not me? I just don't feel myself.
I don't. Like, I understand from a production perspective that this can't possibly happen.
Yeah.
But when somebody gets reborn from DNA and like they still have like little kind of pock marks like on their skin and stuff, but they're like, oh, this big scar went away. It's like you should have silky smooth, like weird baby skin.
Yeah, shouldn't he be like younger? He should be the 23-year-old Culber because
it's not even about being younger. Like you can age them up to be that age, but the skin should be like perfectly fresh and just.
Yeah, but I mean, what's the age at which you basically break down? It's like 27, right? That's when you stop being.
Yeah, I suppose so.
It's around. I think it's around 27, and I mean, so technically speaking, if you've been made out of spore DNA into a brand new human, shouldn't that be? Or is it just the last thing that the spores touched? So it was when he died.
No, I mean it's just. It's just magic. It's just magic.
Imagine if they remade him with a broken neck. Like, exactly. This is what it was like when Stamets
Put
kissed
him right
him.
back where he
At least he has a fighting chance now.
No, I don't know. That's just a pet peeve of sci-fi in general because it's like, come on.
Like I said, I mean,
give them weird CGI baby skin.
I can't be like, oh, I loved it when Spock came back to life, but then be like, ooh, Dr. Culber, fuck off. That doesn't work. It doesn't make any sense.
I don't care about the story implication. I mean, whatever.
Another thing where we've got to really adopt a standard and stick to it is I've been bitching ever since the show started that she's not Spock's sister.
Mm-hmm.
And I thought about this and I go, well, if I've got this hard on Woody Allen basically because he married his daughter, basically, you have to look at it at the two examples and be, well, if Woody Allen married his daughter, then Spock and Michael Burnham are siblings. Does the whole adoption thing count or not? And I really have to reconcile that with my.
Woody Allen. Yeah.
I have to get that right in my head because Woody Allen did marry his daughter, in my opinion. So.
Yeah, I mean, that does make sense. I really hope, just in a general sense, and speaking generally of the season, I really hope that the Red Angel does not end up being Spock.
Yeah.
Is that?
Well, they're trying.
Well, I mean, I know they can't do Leonard Nimoy coming back. I just realised because he's dead.
Yeah.
But it kind of fits in with like the way that they put Spock into like the new movies kind of thing.
Yeah.
And I hope they don't do that. I don't want Spock to be in the show.
It doesn't work on any level.
I can't think of any acceptable answer that'll be like good at this point.
Is it like time travel Spock?
Is it time travel Spock? Is it fucking time traveling Amanda? Is it Sarek?
Yeah, I don't like it either.
I don't care. There is no character that is in that suit that I'll actually care about. Except old LaForge. Imagine they finally find the Red Angel. He's like sitting on a step or something, and he's like exhausted, and he pulls his helmet off, and it's old LaForge with like the weird cybernetic eyes, and he goes,
We just miss those guys so much.
Or Riker.
Right, I'd buy Riker for $1.
He can't fit in that suit.
I don't know. They're hinting at it. I think wasn't it Saru or Pike or someone was like, yeah, with Saru's enhanced vision, we could see that it was a guy in a suit. And it wasn't just an angel. I mean, boring.
They also finally showed the CGI a little more clearly. Yeah. I mean, you could see into the shot, which.
Well, that too, but I mean,
I'm glad it's somebody in a suit. Like, I'm glad it's like a technological thing.
Well.
Over mysticism or whatever,
I really don't know how to feel about it because it was one of the only mysteries they had left, and even though I don't like it, now we know. now we know what it is, more or less, it's kind of even less compelling. I don't know, maybe that's just me.
It's Harry Mudd.
It's, oh, man.
What if it's Lorca? Like, normal universe Lorca.
Yeah. See, what happened to him? He just died, right? Sorry, I know this is a little off track, but...
He just died.
Yeah, he just died.
What about Admiral Cornwell?
You're just putting everyone in that fucking suit. I want 5 people to come out of one suit. That's the real technology.
What if it's a Ferengi? Yeah.
I think we should all, just off topic again, we should all learn how to walk like Saru. The swishy arms were on full display in this episode, and I was very happy to see that.
I just don't get when he walks angrily, he does it as well. Like, he's like, I'm gonna go transport to the thing. And then he... down the whole way.
I've got a note here that says, I just want to reiterate how dumb Burnham's face is at 4720. Now, I don't know what that is, but I'm sure that when I look at the file, I'll find out. So, Burnham has a dumb face. I think she was happy about something. Like, it was near the end of the episode and she was just smug. I don't know. I don't like her fucking face.
I'm just trying to think. It was like when, I think it was probably when all the things were exploding or something.
Yeah.
Like the power was going off and thing. I don't know. Like, I'm glad that they don't have to go down to Kelpian anymore. I guess. Because, like...
It is good to get it out of the way. That little mini-sode sort of set us up, and I'm like, oh, well, I guess Saru's going to come back and free him eventually. But, yeah, I don't know. I hope Saru doesn't get angry too often, because he's really not a punching things to solve things kind of guy. He just seems sort of like a pro wrestler at times. He's like, I'm going to... He's punching things in and twisting them and bending them to his will, and I just don't buy from him. He's too good of an actor for that.
Yeah. I just wish the evolution thing, like... I wish the evolution thing, and I wish I would stop calling it evolution as well, but I wish the transformation thing was a little more transformative.
Yeah.
Because now he's just Saru, but slightly angry. And then, like, they'll show those spines, like, one more time 3 seasons from now or something.
Yeah, yeah.
But, I don't know, nothing's really changed. It's just him still.
Yeah.
That's the thing, when they said, like, he was growing... Like, everything they said led up to me expecting the Baal to be them. Like, it's like he was growing... Oh, you're growing weird cartilage teeth in the back of your skull. And it's like, he's going to turn into one of them.
God.
No, and this is a little more boring. I think that would have been more interesting.
It's just amazing to me. You keep mentioning these little hints that something different was going to happen, and like I'm just picking them up in my head now and going, oh yeah, that would have been not better, but probably expected, and it would have worked better in the story. To just have them be random tar monsters is kind of like nothing.
Yeah, like the resolution that they went with just wasn't that interesting. It was like, okay, the tar monsters, they used to be the prey, but now they're the predators. And it's like,
God, I really hate this episode. This is such a nothing burger.
that's the thing, like, the episode itself, like the beats and stuff were like, okay, I mean, yeah, it was fine. But, like, the whole thing was just kind of a nothing burger, yeah. Nothing really happened.
And the whole intervening in the war thing...
Sorry, nothing really happened. I mean, they did, like, liberate an entire species.
But even then, they didn't. The Red Angel did it for him. But the whole intervening between two warring species kind of thing, there's an episode of original Star Trek called Private Little War, where they're kind of like, oh, well, this side has muskets, we've got to give these guys muskets. Oh, they've got better muskets now, we've got to keep arming them up. It's a sort of a Federation and the Klingons meddling. It's like Vietnam. And, one big Vietnam and what's it? Allegory? Yeah.
That's allegory. Yep.
And I don't know. I mean, does the Federation have rules on this sort of thing?
No.
I don't think that Prime Directive really means anything because.
Well, I mean, what rule did they break?
The non-interference one. These people were living in teepees. They weren't.
So their interference was to brown note all of them and induce like a genetic change. Yeah, that's a bit bad.
I mean, what if you tried to solve a problem on Vulcan by giving them all Ponfire at once?
Oh God, can you imagine?
The Vulcan's population is sinking. We need more Vulcans. They need to breed. They just start fucking
the whole planet.
One big finger bang.
Oh. Drown in cum.
Oh man,
is it green?
Uh,
That doesn't make any sense.
well, traditionally...
It's not like our comes red, but, you know.
Yeah, it's not the colour of our blood, so unless there's problems. Unrelated to anything, again, I keep doing this, but a couple of episodes ago, our episodes, not theirs, we were talking about music and the Beatles, and we were talking about, you know, if they're going to be forgotten. And then, like, I swear to God, not a day later, I saw a trailer or an article or something about this movie called Yesterday, where the premise is this guy wakes up in a world that's never heard of the Beatles, takes all their songs and I guess gets famous. I'm not quite sure about the plot. And it's one of those things, it works for a second as like a thought experiment. What if there was no Beatles? What would the world be like? But then you just realise first of all, how stupid a premise that is, because if there was no Beatles, everything else would be different, because they really were that huge.
What the fuck is this?
I don't know. And second of all, they're insinuating that this kid could just spit out all the Beatles songs in a naive world and be successful with it, which I swear to God wouldn't be the case. If this guy, if this guy had been the Beatles, nobody would have heard of him. He sucks. And I just think it's all a very, very lazy kind of obvious excuse for him to just play a bunch of Beatles songs, I think.
When's it set?
I don't know. I really don't know enough about it to be criticising it, but at the same time...
I can see Lily James, and she looks kind of old-fashioned, so hang on.
Oh. Well, I'm a fan of Lily James. Am I?
Lily James?
What was she in?
It's cast in the... Okay, it's set in the 1960s.
Oh.
I kind of get it then. Because
Yeah.
I thought you meant it was like in modern day.
Oh, I thought it might be modern day as well. All right, okay. Well, that makes a slight smidgen more sense than what I was talking about.
No, it's set in the 60s, but then how does he know? Also, Ed Sheeran's in it.
Okay.
And James Corden.
This movie really didn't need to happen. It's almost
And
like...
Kate McKinnon.
You know why they're in it? They're producers. I bet they fucking paid for the whole thing. It's just one big... See, that's what I'm talking about. A big, transparent excuse for them to just do the Beatle thing and be loved for it. I bet James Corden sings in this. Wow, I really love this song. I bet you anything he fucking does.
His big fat white friend.
Yeah, it makes me sick. He was driving around with Paul McCartney on that carpool karaoke thing. He got to sing with Paul McCartney. He didn't deserve it.
What? No, what does it matter?
Well, I mean,
What does it matter? He's barely Paul McCartney anymore.
it's still him. There's still like a...
No, he's so old that all of his songs have changed.
Oh,
he's not even the original Paul McCartney anymore.
You know, in the start of Inception, when
Oh,
Leonardo DiCaprio's dragged off the beach to face off against Mr. Soto, or whatever his name is, and he's really old and wrinkly and Yoda-aged. He's almost...
Oh, Inception, sorry.
But it's
I
still...
missed when you said Inception.
Underneath all of that Fu Manchu stuff, it's still him. And I feel the same way about Paul McCartney. And if I got in that car, he'd be like, "Oh, lad, do you want to be young men again and die together?" Or what is it? No, what does he say? Shit. All right, I can't remember the dialogue, but anyway, Inception. What a movie!
I haven't watched that since the first time I watched it. I don't think.
It's not a very well-regarded movie, is it?
Oh well, it is.
I only ever hear
just
people.
don't think it's one that you can kind of watch more than once or twice. I don't know.
I've watched it a couple of times. It didn't seem that bad.
I tried to watch Interstellar again, and I couldn't watch that. It's just too long and boring. But I mean, I don't know.
I did actually watch an earlier Chris Nolan movie where the whole movie's ass backwards, where it plays you scenes, but each scene is like the order of the scenes is reversed, and that was way better than Inception. I can't remember the name of the fucking movie. Let me know. Wait.
Nolan movie in reverse.
You'll find it before I do.
Memento,
yeah, that's way better than Inception.
Oh, is that the one where he has the photo and it says "Don't trust the lives" or something?
Yeah, he's got a short memory and he has to keep writing shit down, otherwise he forgets it.
No, I only know it from the meme.
Ah, I didn't know it was a meme. Memento. Anyway,
Memento. Yeah, that's what it's called.
So, in summary, The Sounds of Thunder was a dog shit episode. No, it was another fucking middling thing, and like I knew it would be, but hoping it wouldn't be, a waste of the potential of Doug Jones, because now he just smashes things when he doesn't like them.
Yeah, I mean, his character has now gone through its arc.
Yeah.
His fundamental person. Well, I don't know. Yeah, I feel bad when I say stuff like that because it's like,
yeah,
the Doctor from Voyager got his mobile emitter in like season 3, And then he was mobile for the rest of the show. That's the majority of the show. He was mobile,
But he still had good episodes.
and he was still a really good character. He was like one of the best characters in the show. So I don't know.
And I mean, don't get me wrong, it's not like the only redeeming factor of Saru was that he got scared sometimes and his ears would stick out. Like, that's not the most interesting thing about the character, but I'm worried that now that he's scared of nothing, he'll just be an annoying prick, and we already have Michael Burnham for that.
Yeah,
I mean,
it's like he had more potential than that.
Yeah, I think they made a bit of a mess up. I've got a note that says, Saru needs rock metal drums for his breakout scene at 3800. Again, I don't remember that, but I'll edit it together just so.
Well, it's when he was pulling the stuff off he broke the chain. Or whatever.
Oh, yeah.
That's all it was.
Yeah, it's the one.
I don't know, all of this physical kind of angry stuff was just kind of stunted and weird in this episode.
There was one more thing that I remember. There was a scene where Burnham and some other people are looking at a display and the camera's going around in circles.
Oh, I hated that.
I hated it, then forgot about it. Then today I was in the kitchen and Nancy's watching Discovery. I hear, oh God, stop the camera moving! Stop! Stop
watching that scene.
Stop spinning!
Don't do it, yeah.
And then that same display, she was doing a little briefing with Tilly later on, and they're looking at it from opposite sides, but they can both read it. Now, this might be the most Star Trek nerd thing I ever do, but I want to know, how does that work? I need to know how that works.
Well, the Universal Translator also translates backwards text. Brain.
Oh yeah, they're all wearing HoloLenses in their eyes, and it's doing that. You know, there's that great Google Translate that works with photos and cameras and stuff. It just translates.
Yeah.
That's the one.
Yeah, I don't know. It's like I hate scenes like that where the director has like an idea. It's like, hey, during this first 3 minutes, we should just have the camera just spins the entire time. And
I don't like random.
What's going on? It's like a whirlwind of activity on the ship.
This is why Frakes is a good director, because he has some restraint. He does slick camera moves, but not too many. Whereas in this episode, there was like a shot of Pike where the camera is rotating at him, like in that shit J.J. Abrams Star Trek movie, where all of a sudden we're at 20 degrees and Pike is yeah, I hate that. That doesn't look good. It never looked good.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like you look at the Frakes episodes, and it's just there's a few really slick kind of transitions that are like, yeah, that was cool, and then everything else is just completely unnoticeable, and it's great. I love it.
You don't get too clever with the goddamn editing and the filming, and you leave it to people like the guy that does Shaun of the Dead. What's his name?
Edgar Wright.
Leave it to him.
One of my favourite parts of Jonathan Frakes directing from Discovery was that shot of Ash Tyler where he's like, it's like she's saying the words to him, and then he just kind of snaps into his Klingon thing, and he's like looking at the camera, and goes, "Whoa."
So how do you feel about Ash Tyler's hair? Just to get back on that.
Well, it's a little bit better. And I'm glad that he's not wearing that stupid turtleneck anymore.
He's in a proper uniform.
He has to wear his uniform.
This show, honestly, I don't know.
It's not like if he has to keep the hair, the big buffy hipster hair and the big buffy hipster beard, then that's fine. As long as he gets to be on the ship.
Yeah.
It was more a story a lot of people apart.
Oh yeah, he has that little speech because apparently Pike didn't even fight in the war or some shit.
Yeah, he wasn't even there.
No, there you go.
You were there.
You were there. This war's doing about a lot of people.
5-year mission. Yeah.
Well, anyway, so
whatever. That's an episode.
You more or less know how we feel about that. And I guess
so Spock's in the next episode, I guess.
There was a shot of Spock with the beard, and Burnham's trying to talk to him. Oh yeah, just one more at the end of the show.
Hang on, so they go to right at the end. They say, she says, "I'm going to Vulcan," and then they find him. What, was he on Vulcan the entire time?
Yeah, the ultimate fake out. He was at home all along. No, here's the thing. I've got one note here that says, "I need to go home to Vulcan," and then the writing after that says, "You cheap whore." It's not your home. I'm sorry.
Okay. She grew up on Vulcan. You have to actually. No, that does annoy me because she was like 12 apparently when she.
Yeah, sorry. Anyway.
I was about to defend the show, but then I remembered that flashback at the start of the season where she's like fucking 18.
I'm sorry, it all changes depending on that age. I know we already talked about it, but if she's 4 when the Klingons eat her family in front of her in the dining room, then okay. She's spent enough of her life in Vulcan for it to count. But a teenager, I'm sorry, no.
She shouldn't be, and she shouldn't have been all stoic and, I grew up on Vulcan.
Sorry, you didn't. You spent summer there. Anyway, yep.
Alright, that's that done. Good job.
Yeah, so we'll see you again next time. Hopefully a little sooner than later. I mean, I don't know. It's hard to do on a Friday. I wish they had not fucking picked Friday as the day. It makes me so angry.
Yeah.
But we'll do what we can.
Hey, Scotty, good news. Jupiter Ascending has been added to Netflix, so now you can watch it.
I will do that, but have you watched Behind the Curve yet?
No, I was thinking about watching it tonight.
Dude, hang up. Well, you have to watch it right now because
no. I mean, I gotta go out later. But,
oh no! Watch it on. Can you watch it like faster? Does Netflix have a fast forward function?
What? No. Look, I'm going to my girlfriend's house later. We might watch it there.
Oh, watch it with a girlfriend.
Yeah. Watch it with
I'm ordering David around. Anyway, okay. Thanks for hanging out with us. If you did, and
fuck is all this stuff in my continue watching? My mum's been using my Netflix. I've been watching Outlander.
Did you say your mum?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I was using my Netflix.
Nice. All right.
Nice.
We'll see you guys in the future, and keep watching Star Trek even if we don't, because it deserves a second chance.
What the fuck are you talking? What?
No, I can see you reading, so I was just gonna see if you were listening or not.
From your cup? No, I was listening, obviously.
Okay, alright.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah. Discovery. Yep. Ghost in the Shell is on Netflix.
The original or remake?
The remake.
Well,
your hands and tits.
Astronaut pen. Check it out. David, sell me this pen.